Hi, my name is Fulton Abraham Sanchez. I am the CPA of the firm Facep and Consultants, and today we're going to speak about car dealers, car dealers, and inventory errors, and how that cost thousands. For the car dealers, the operation, the way that they operate and they summarize the transactions in the accounting records is different from a little different from other type of businesses. And the reason here is the type of financing that they use to do their operations. That will be one. Second, there is the critical part that they have for the inventory and the detail of the inventory that they need with the objective of have a correct summary of transactions when the sale of that item is done. We remember the case of a client. The entire operation was in a QuickBook, in Excel. And that operation included the sale, the purchase of the car, the sale, the financing, the payment of the sales tax, the records of the inventory, the cost of goods sold, and the expenses. In this sense, the summary for the car dealer involves summary in terms of accounting involves the acquisition of the vehicle either with capital that is owned by the owners of the business or with money that is financed from a third party. This is called floor plans. Floor plans are the typical plans that financing plans that a car dealer we use with the objective of buying the vehicles. The problem into all this is the more transactions there is, the more detail in the accounting records. So we've seen, for example, operations, small operations, medium-sized operations. One of the problems is the setup of the account is not or does not correspond for the dealer, for the structure of the dealer, for the operation of the dealers. So, for example, there is the inventory. The inventory needs to be organized with the detail of the characteristics of the vehicle with the objective of transfer this to the cost of goods sold when there is the sale of the vehicle. So this is one of the most common mistakes for a car dealer business is that the inventory does not correspond to the cost of goods sold. The inventory needs to be fed every time there is a purchase of a vehicle, and the vehicle needs to be classified correctly in terms of the VIN number, the year of make, the brand, and the type of the model of the vehicle, and this needs to be backed up in the records of the business. So when there is no such a care in the records for the inventory, the cost of goods sold, that is the transfer from the inventory to the cost of goods sold when the vehicle has been purchased by a client, will not reflect the correct amount or the correct cost of the vehicle, of the unit of sale, and the gross profit will not be able to be determined. So in any business in any business with inventory, for the profit and loss, we have the structure of sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit, administration expenses, payroll expenses, and operating expenses, and finally, the profit of the business. Why the cost of goods sold is critical? Because it determines the gross profit and the gross margin of the business that you should have, that you should know at the end of the accounting period. This is at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year. And we've seen many times that the misclassification of the cost of the car, because whenever you purchase an item, the cost is not the only thing that goes into the inventory. It is also any other cost related to the procurement of that item for the sale. So in the case of a car, when you buy the vehicle, you also pay cost for bringing the item to the premise, to your dealer. You also pay cost for any repairs or any maintenance that you need to the vehicle, you need to do to the vehicle. And many times those expenses are classified as operation expenses instead of being integrated into the inventory. So what is the problem there? The problem is that if you have a vehicle only for the cost of purchase, you are missing the rest of the expenses, that in this case will be the rest of the cost of the inventory that you are using for the procurement of that vehicle. So when you are going to sell the vehicle, and the sale is registered, the transfer from the inventory to the cost of goods sold is not the real amount that you have used, that you have expense out for the preparation of that vehicle for sale. So your gross profit, that is the sales minus cost of goods sold, the gross profit will not be correctly stated. So you will have a decrease in your gross profit and an increase in your gross profit because your cost of goods sold will be shorter, will be less, an increase in your expenses and the operation expenses that is not correct. In the end, profit of the business will be the same. You put it in you put it in the cost of goods sold or operating expenses, it will be the same. But that's not the problem. The problem is that your cost of goods sold does not reflect the cost of goods sold. Gross profit is not reflecting the real amount that you're supposed to have. And that is preventing you to calculate the correct gross benefit that you have for the business. And what is the gross, the ratio that you get at the end from the sales price minus the cost of goods sold? What is the real gross profit that you have? So it will be a larger gross profit that is indicated a larger benefit, but it's not correct. So how do you prevent all this? As I said before, the idea or ideal is if you have doing this by Excel or by any other spreadsheet, you need to accumulate the expenses into one single record of the inventory. And or at the same time, when you have that, to transfer all those amounts into several items of the inventory. If you want to keep the records of the inventory at that detail, you need to create multiple items into the inventory for the purchase of the cost of purchase of the car, the maintenance and any other expense, tax that you pay, or any other expense. It will be an accumulation of the expenses, accumulation of the acquisition of the amount of the acquisition of the vehicle, with the only objective of providing an accurate cost of goods sold. In this case, will be the accurate cost of the purchase of the item. When you sell the vehicle, all those purchases, and this is what makes it really difficult, because whenever we create an item or whenever we create several items and we're going to sell the vehicle, many times the operator of the system forgets that there are other items that need to be taken away or flush back from the inventory and put it in the cost of goods sold when the sale is projected. In this case, how do I take that away from the inventory and put it on the cost of goods sold? Whenever I am doing the sale, when I am creating the invoice, I have to list not only the cost of acquisition, but also the rest of the expenses, the rest of the amounts that I needed for the putting in cars for sale. So instead of having one line for cost of in your invoice, one line for the cost of the item, you will have 2 lines, 3 lines, or 4 more lines for when the vehicle is sold. But remember that involves a control that you need to have in, let's say, in a subsidiary report for the item, in a spreadsheet for the item of that inventory. That is what creates sometimes problem, because remember, at the end, all the other expenses, even the expense for acquisition, is paid in cash. It's debited from your bank. You pay that with a check, you pay with a wire transfer, with a cell payment, whatever is how you pay. With a deposit from to another account, this is done from the bank. So there are instances where the purchase of the vehicle is recorded in the inventory, and the other expenses that are debited from the bank account, they are recorded as operating expenses. When that is an error, it should not be used as operating expenses, but included into the inventory cost. And at the end, or at the moment that the vehicle is sold, you also need to take all those items that were included in inventory as cost of goods sold to produce an accurate cost of goods sold and measure the gross profit correctly. In this same sense, these costs that are classified to the acquisition costs that are classified to the operating profit instead of the cost of goods sold is a cost misclassification. They are not expenses. They are actual cost of the vehicle that need to be integrated into the inventory. This is according to general accepted accounting principles where the cost of an item is not only the purchase price, but also any other amount that is spent with the objective of making the item, making available for the sale to clients, to the public. So it's critical that you have from the beginning, you have your inventory classified that way. Now, how you prevent the cost misclassification? It is through a reconciliation at the end of the month. That makes critical the amounts of the inventory, because if I have a reconciliation of my inventory, the actual amount of the inventory with the amounts of inventory in my books, they should match, and any difference that is not reported, that is not reported correctly, then I will have to check that and make the adjustments. The problem is that when I have created the bill and I have transferred the cost from the inventory to the cost of goods sold, and I have closed the bill and I received the money in the bank, the problem with that is that to correct it, to make it correctly, I will have to put back the payment, put back the inventory, and in that inventory include all of the items that I need to do a correct representation of the cost of goods sold. That's why it's critical to do it from the beginning, because you will have, if you do it at the end of the month, or at the end of the quarter, or even at the end of the year, you will need to open and do the payments, and do the cost of goods sold, and do the inventory, and do the bill. In your bill, put the items that are supposed to be there, the addition of the items in addition to the cost, that they are part of the bill because they were amounts like maintenance and repairs that were used to bring the car for sale. You need to put it on the bill, and then you need to pay that. You need to pay that bill, closing it with the bank, and you are receiving the amount that you have received in the bank, with the objective of doing a correct closing of the bill. But that is double work. So it's critical that you do this once a month, at least, for the reconciliation of your books, the inventory, of the cost of goods sold, of the bank accounts, and also the credit card accounts. The next element that we've seen is the misclassification of the interest in the floor plan, and this is critical. We have the case of one client where they have not reconciled their floor plan for at least 1 year. So imagine having the items that the amounts that they paid into the cost of goods, into the operating expense. You have to remember that whenever you have a floor plan, the floor plan, there are interests that need to be classified and assigned as interest. Even though those interests are paid through the bank, they need to be assigned as a financial cost of the business. It's also whenever you have a floor plan, and the car that is purchased with that from that floor plan, that money has been used to buy a vehicle for the business. Remember that whenever the car is not sold through a period of time, let's say 30 days, 60 days, 190 days, the bank, the floor plan, is going to charge you a penalty. It's going to charge you a fee for not selling the vehicle. At the end, after the 90 days, the bank is going to charge you back and it's going to debit it from your account, the account that you have with them, from your bank. They're going to put back from the account that they have with you. Because remember, a floor plan is like a line of credit from a bank that is specialized in giving credit for business, for a car dealer. So you have an account with them, and the bank, the floor plan, is going to debit from that account the amount of that vehicle that they originally financed, with the objective of returning that capital to the bank. So it's critical that you have all this in place because this is financing cost that you have for the business. So this needs to be classified as financing cost, and this goes into the operational expenses. This is critical for the correct measurement of the amounts that you have in your business, amounts in terms of financing, of course. Now, there are times when car dealers, they don't use floor plans, or they do use floor plans, but in addition, they collect the money within the same dealer, buy here, pay here. That is from the other side. This is when they collect money. Whenever you collect the money with interest, and like when you are financing a car or any item that you are financing from your side, there is a distinction between the amount of the capital repaid and the amount of the interest that is received. In that case, the interest is income for you, and that needs to be classified different from the capital that you are received from the car. This is like when you have a mortgage, and there's interest and the capital payment. Same thing is when the dealer is selling and is collecting the money within the dealership. In this case, there is a distribution between the capital amount and the interest amount that it's been charged. The capital amount is the one that is going to be paid back to the floor plan if the car has been sold during the period that the bank is not doing a chargeback. So remember that this is also needed for the correct presentation of the financial statements. This is typical. There is also for example the sales tax. It's different the way that the sales tax is paid for the car dealers, because in the state, in some states, they require not based on the sales of that particular month, but it is as a percentage from the previous month or from the previous year. So for the car dealers, don't pay sales tax based on the sales from the previous month. They pay based on the ratio that the state has given them from the previous sale, from the previous year, from the previous month, from the previous year, most of the times, based on a ratio that the state has given. Sometimes two options, sometimes even three options, depending on the numbers paid in the previous year, and based on that, they have to pay in the following year. Those depending on the method that you use to calculation, you have to be very careful, because we've seen that clients has overpaid, and then they need to apply for a credit to the Department of Revenue of the state, because there are no refunds for sales tax. There's only credit. So you need to be very careful when you are doing the calculation of the sales tax, because sales tax for car dealers is not based on the sales of the previous month, but it's based on the ratio of the previous year that the state has given, and the method that the car dealer has selected for the payment of the sales tax. Be aware that all these items need to be taken into consideration with the objective of providing a sound financial statement that in reality, the financial statements, correctly stated, they are tools. They are tools for the judgment of the business and see where the business is going, and the needs of capital, needs of cost reduction, needs of paying more for employment, in this case for payroll expenses, if more employees are needed or less employees are needed. But this is where a good set of financial statements are needed, because if this is given at the end of the year, anything that you miss in the previous month, that you are supposed to have the financial statement per month, to be able to take measures, to take decisions in that month and not at the end of the year, when capital is already used, and you have done this in a previous month when it was needed. So make sure that all these considerations are always in place, so your car dealer will have a good set of financial statements, and financial statements that can be used as a tool for management and for decision taking.